What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here, if I get 0 wins in today's draft, I'm giving away a collector booster pack of Final Fantasy. All the way down to if I get 7 wins, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on how you think I did to be entered to win that giveaway. And before we start, we are going to spin the challenge wheel to give ourselves a challenge going into this draft today. Alright, so today's challenge is that we have to draft a 5-color deck, meaning we have to play cards of every single color. We're going to take a ton of towns, a ton of fixing, a ton of bombs, and we're going to try and make this work drafting a 5-color deck. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, jumping into this first pack, we got to draft a 5-color deck. Let's see what we get into here. So, our rare is the Jadur Aristocratic Capital. It is a milling land, which is not great. We're not going to be taking that as our rare here. Not a huge fan. I do think Evil Reawakened can be okay if we're doing a lot of recursion. Restoration Magic's actually a pretty decent trick in white. I do think Queen Brawn is pretty good. I am kind of eyeing a Chocobo Racetrack. I think if you're going 5 colors, you kind of have to play green as one of your main 2 colors, just because it allows you, there's a lot of cards that allow you to go get lands, and allow you to fix your mana base as best as you can. So I'm eyeing a Chocobo Racetrack. I love the removal spells in the Aura Sight and the Thunder Magic. Love both of those. But I think I'm going to go with the Racetrack here. I know it is double green, which doesn't exactly bode great for a 5-color deck. But I think us being in green is actually going to be pretty decent. And we'll see what we can pick up in this next pack. Hopping into our second selection. I'm not a fan of the Van Street Thief. I think some of the wording on this card just makes it tough, because you can cast it, but you can't spend any mana to cast spells that you're stealing. So it's not that great. Other considerations, I will say we're playing 5 colors, so we're not going to be afraid to take cards that we believe are strong. I do think the Adelbert Steiner is pretty good. Dragoon's Wyvern is really strong. Ilmag Pixie's pretty good. But I'm going to take a Summon Fat Chocobo. We have not gotten to play with this card on the channel yet. I think it's really fun. I think if we do the bird thing, it's actually going to be pretty good. So I'm going to follow up our first green card with another green card, and we'll try to kind of figure out what we're splashing as we move forward in these packs. Alright, moving into our third pick. The Mythic is still there, the Atir and Pre-Win, but I don't think it's any good. Paying 6 and then having to pay 5 to equip this, you're sinking 11 mana into something that by the point you do that, you've probably lost some life, is not exactly where we want to be. We could take a Tifa's Limit Break, which is a super... I thought it was going to be insane. I thought this card was going to kind of break the format. Not break the format, but be really, really good. Tripling the target creature's power and toughness just lets you sneak in for wins, but it's actually not been performing super well. I think here I'm going to prioritize something safer, like a capital city. That's going to just help us with our mana base, depending on what we're playing. We could also take a land here, a town here, but I'm going to take the capital city. It is a town, and I think it's going to be decent for us. Hopping into our fourth selection here. So I'm not seeing any huge signs. I think Summon Anima is okay. I don't like Random Encounter really at all. Magitech Infantry is okay. Sentinel's okay. Heck Dies is pretty good. Like, a lot of good commons, but not exactly like I'm trying to make that one of my main 2 colors here. Malbro's alright, Elder's okay. I think I'm going to take a Grand Pulse Ochu. I have found that this card does a great job at buying time. In my last video, I had a mono green deck. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. But just playing this on 1 made it to our opponents really didn't want to attack us. And I think if we're scrambling to play 5 different colors, having one of these on 1 is not going to be the worst thing in the world. So I'm going to pick up a Grand Pulse Ochu here. Alright, moving on into our 5th selection in this pack. So, Restoration Magic is pretty good. Kieran Merchant can be pretty strong. It allows you to essentially draw a bunch of cards at the end of games, but it's nothing insane. Airship Crash is okay. Destroying artifacts is a little bit better in this deck because there's so many good artifacts, but it's not incredible. You can cycle it, which is good. I will say, I know for a fact we're playing all 5 colors, so I'm going to take the land here as a tap land. I'm not seeing anything I feel like I have to have in our deck that's going to really, really improve it. So we're just going to take the town here. Hopping on into our 6th pick. So now is when I think we're going to start to see some signals. And I don't feel like we need a blitzball shot, but I do think the Ultimecia is pretty dang strong. So I think we're going to pick that up here. Heck Dice is good. Sahagins actually pretty decent. But we're going to pick up the Ultimecia here. We now have got 3 colors in our deck, and we will not stop until we have all 5. Moving on into this next pack, we could take a Vanilla Cheerful Sigh. When it enters, mill 2 cards, return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Getting your first main phase, if you both own and control Vanilla and a creature named Fang, you can pay 5. You turn it into this giant creature. So we definitely could do that here. It is a 4-drop. We've got some expensive cards, or we could just take the land fixing. Vanilla's pretty good. I think if we're playing like a green, blue, black deck, it's actually pretty decent. But I'm going to just take the town fixing. And we're just going to essentially just rare it up in these last packs. Hopping on into our 8th pick. So we could take a Commune with Beavers as a super average 1-drop. We can take a Bard's Bow, which is like a totally fine 3-drop. I will say, if you ever get this token bounced, it feels particularly tragic. We could take a Relentless ATM, but I don't think this is going to really be like a beatdown deck. Although it is okay. And then we could also take a Rook Turret as a fine 4-mana play. I think I'm going to take the Bard's Bow as just a way for us to kind of help our curve. We've got a lot of expensive cards and a lot of towns as it currently stands. And we're just trying to find our lane as we move forward in these packs. All right, hopping on into our 9th pick. I do think we'll just take the tap land here. Syncopate's good. But I don't know if blue's going to be one of our main colors. I think it might just be a splash for the Ultimecia. So I'm going to take the Trino Dark City here. And hopefully we get some town payoffs, because we're going to have a bajillion towns as it currently stands. Hopping on into this next pack. That's a really late Dragoon's Wyvern. Really late. I love this card. I think it's really good. I think it's fantastic. I'm really excited to see it. Maybe that is a sign that we playing blue-green as kind of our main 2 colors. Here, Scorpion Sentinel is also pretty solid. I think we'll actually just keep taking those. I think playing blue-green actually is kind of, that's where the most town payoffs are, is in blue-green. And so hopefully this is a sign that that is somewhat open for us. As we move on into this next pack, there's some fun cards here. So we could take a Jumbo Cactuar and do the Jumbo Cactuar thing again, but I actually don't think this card is that good. I think situationally it can be awesome, but I don't really want to pick it here. We could take a Colosseum Behemoth. When it enters, choose one. You can destroy an artifact or enchantment, or you can draw a card. It is a good top end. Chocobo Kick is a really solid removal spell. I don't think we're going to be in green. And then we could also take Aprecia's Wanderings. We can go look for a land or a town. So would be really strong in our deck, especially if we're playing all of the different colors here. So I'm really between the Kick, the Wanderings, and maybe a Behemoth, but I'm already kind of talking myself out of that. I think I'm going to go with the Chocobo Kick. I think it's more likely that we see Aprecia's Wanderings again. And Chocobo Kick, we really need to have good removal spells in this deck. So I'm going to pick that up here. Moving on into our 2nd pick. Really excited to see an Omega Heartless Evolution here. When it enters, for each opponent, tap it to 1 non-land permanent that opponent controls. We put X stun counters on those permanents and gain X life, where X is the amount of non-basic lands we control. Currently, we have 4. I would assume we're going to have more. I think that is the exact kind of card we want in this deck. Other considerations, the Thrum of the Vestige is pretty solid. It's just a lightning bolt, but 1 mana, 3 damage to any target is really good. Reach the Horizon also would probably be pretty solid in this deck, but I think Omega Heartless Evolution is the exact kind of top-end creature we want to have here, so we're more than happy picking that up. Hopping on into our 3rd selection here. I do think, crazily enough, this is a Travel to Overworld deck, and we're going to continue just prioritizing picking lands. And it's a really good card draw effect that we can have as we want games to kind of go longer. I do think Queen of Coup Gourmet can actually be really fun. We've got a Bard's Bow, but that's really it in terms of the tokens we're creating. I guess we're making birds with the Fat Chocobo and the Chocobo Racetrack as well. So definitely could take a Queen of Coup Gourmet, but I think it's more likely we'll see another one of those. I lied. I want to take it. I want to try it. We've actually got some things to make this work, and I think we actually might wheel Travel the Overworld. I think that card is pretty situational if you have a ton of towns. Hopping on into our fourth pick, really excited to see Torgal, a fine hound here. It's going to make it way easier for us to cast all of our spells in this deck. I will say we do still need a white card and a red card in our main deck to really play all of the different colors here. But Torgal does a great job of helping us fix our mana, play a good creature onto, and then I don't know that we have a ton of humans. This is a human. But I think it's just a really good 2-drop for us. So I'm going to pick that here. Okay, so we do see a Travel the Overworld. So I could pick that here. We could also just take Capricious Wanderings, which is really solid. Or we could take a Guadasalam Farplane Gateway to get another town into play. I think I'm going to take the Travel the Overworld. I think the upside is stronger than the other 2 picks, and we still have time to take lands. Here, really excited. So we could take a starting town, which is actually really good. But I think Ignis Scientia is premium. It's a premium 3-drop, and it will allow us, it's a human, goes to the Torgal, and it will allow us to go and get our lands. So I'm going to take the Ignis here. It also ramps our mana, which is good. But I will note that town was solid. Hopping on into our 7th pick here, we could take another Bard's Bow to go with the Queen of Coup Gourmet as another 3-mana play that we like. Oh, the Wyvern also makes a token, so that's pretty good. Here, I'm just going to take the town. We are going to have to play a red and a white card in this deck as well. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what those cards are going to be. Moving on into our 8th pick, I do think Combat Tutorial is pretty strong. I will say we don't have a ton of removal effects, and Light of Judgment is passable. It's okay. We're going to have a lot of lands out there, but I'm going to take a Combat Tutorial here over something like a Lock Coal, just because I think we have a lot of 3-drops we already like. 3-drop creatures, that is. Hopping on into our 9th pick. So, I don't love anything here. We could take an Insomnia Crown City. I think I might just take a Call the Mountain Chocobo. I like this card a lot. We have nothing to do on 4 so far. We might be splashing for a Call the Mountain Chocobo, which would be hilarious. Here, I think we'll take... I mean, the Blitzball's not good, but nothing else is really fantastic. I guess Sage's Notice is okay. Makes a token with a Coup Gourmet. Airship Crash is also not great, but maybe we play it because we have no removal. I'm going to take it. I don't love that we're taking it. And here, we could take another Travel the Overworld. We've got 5 towns as it stands. I think I'm going to take the Gateway instead. I don't really know that we have to be having all of those. Here, I'm actually pretty excited that this Cinnamon Wheel, here we'll take another town. Maybe we should have taken the Travel to Overworld. 2 of those just feels like it can be a potentially disastrous situation. Okay, hopping on into this next pack. So we need to identify a white card that we want to play. I don't think we're going to play the Phoenix down. And potentially some more... I mean, really, if there's any bombs, we're probably just going to take it. We've got really, really good land fixing and good ways to go and draw lands. So here I'm looking at... We could take another Chocobo Kick, which is probably it. Clash of the Icons is not my favorite. The Pixie is really good, but we have 2-drops that I actually don't mind. I think the Sentinels are totally fine. They do a good job of blocking things and keeping us alive. So here I do think we're going to take a Chocobo Kick. I'm not a huge fan of the Sarah Farron. We don't have a ton of legendary cards. What did I just do? Did I take it? Okay, good. I took it. Okay, hopping on into our 2nd pick here. So... red cards were splashing. Suplex is good. I don't know if we really want to play that. I think I'm just going to take Capricious Wanderings here to help us go get our lands and be able to play all these different colors here. So I think I'm going to take that. I think we kind of need to have one of those in our deck just to help us, make this thing work. And then hopping into this next pack, we could play a... Arden Izunia, and then that's actually pretty decent. Do we play that? We do also need a white card that we want to play. I do think Battle Menu's actually pretty good. We're probably passing something that's like really solid and eject. Maybe we just take an eject here. I think eject is like super, super solid in our deck. I will say I am intrigued by this card. But we're going to take an eject here as a really good sort of removal spell, and then it'll allow us to draw a card. Up and on to our fourth selection here. So I do think Summon Fenrir is fantastic. It's a really good 3-drop. We've got some 3s that I like a decent amount, but I really, really like this card a lot. We could take another Fat Chocobo, but I don't think we want to do that here. I think I'm more than happy just taking the Summon Fenrir. Hopping on into this next pack. So we could take a Tella Great Sage. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a hero token. If 4 or more mana was spent to cast it, draw 2 cards. 8 or more, sacrifice it, does that much damage to each opponent. I actually think that's pretty decent. We could also take an Exdeath Void Warlock or a You're Not Alone. I think I'm kind of interested in the Tella, to be honest with you. We don't have a ton of 5s, and I think it actually could be decent. We've actually got some 4-mana spells that look okay to me. Hopping on into this next pack. So we could take the Judge Magister Gabrinth. Problem is, we don't really have any black or white cards early that we like need to play. So I think we're probably just going to take a Trino Dark City here as more land fixing another town. Palamisha's okay. Another Sentinel will be okay. Fat Chocobo's good, but I'm just going to take the town for the land fixing here. Hopping on into this next pack, I do think we'll take the Cloud of Darkness as a really great card. Good kind of removal spell as well. And we're starting to do the 5-color thing here. Hopping on this next pick, you'll notice I have no white cards. So we might have to do a really unfortunate splash here. I'm going to take a White Mage's Staff as a decent 2-drop. Here, I do think maybe the Serapharin is okay. I don't know. I can't even do the math of how many legendaries we have. Let's take the Serapharin. I think there's a chance we actually end up splashing that just for the bit because we have to play all the colors. Here, we'll take another town. And this deck is looking hilarious. Town Greeter is actually great. It'll allow us to go and get some towns out of our deck. Here, we'll take the Airship Kingdom. And look, the deck we came up with, it is a 5-color deck. I feel like I really did the thing. I took the towns. We're running all 5 colors. And we're going to put it together and see what it looks like here. All right, so here is a deck we're rocking with today. It looks crazy. It looks insane. We have a bajillion towns. We've got all 5 colors. I'm splashing the Serapharin, which is not great. It's not my best decision, but we're doing it. We've got some legendary creatures out here, and yeah, hey, there's some legendaries out here. We've got 5, so 6. So maybe we'll do the thing. I don't know. We'll see. But we are jumping into it. And remember, if I do horribly, if I flop, if I get 0 wins, I'm giving away a collector booster pack. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe down below to be entered in to win that. We'll go ahead and jump into it here. All right, hopping into this first one. Our opponent goes first. They took a mulligan. I do think we keep it. The Cloud of Darkness is double green, so eventually we'll be able to cast it. We can play a Town Greeter on 2. This starting hand is interesting. I mean, we're going to be playing it real slow. That's why I think having things like the Chocobo Raceway and things at the end of the game will be helpful for us. And hopefully we don't just get completely run over here. But that also is a strong possibility. Okay, we drew the Travel the Overworld, which is interesting too. So we'll make sure to get our blue sources out there. Next turn, I do think now we play... Interesting. I think we probably play the Torgal, actually. So that next turn, if we off chance draw an untap land, we actually could play the Ultimecia or the Cloud of Darkness. Looks like our opponent is playing mono red or is stuck with their colors, but this is good for us to not get run over immediately. Ultros Obnoxious Octopus is good. We don't draw an untap land, but I think now we just travel the overworld. I think that's a little bit better than ejecting here or playing the Town Greeter. So I'm going to, well, I say that. If we draw 4, we'll have to discard 2. So I'm actually going to play the Town Greeter. Oh, it's a human too, so it gets a counter on it, of course. Those are all of our untap lands. I think now, This is kind of crazy. So we don't have access to white, but we have access to every other color that we need. So I think I'm actually going to leave them all there because I want our Cloud of Darkness to have as many permanents as we can in our graveyard. And I think that's more important than us getting 2 life here and getting another town. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually decline here so that our Cloud of Darkness is quite strong, and then we are not going to attack. Just in case they play a giant threat here, being able to do -4/-4 is going to be pretty solid. Warrior Sword is decent, so they're going to tap down our Torgal, a Fine Hound. I think we're totally fine trading with our Town Greeter if they wanted to go that route. Omega Heartless Evolution is a really interesting draw. So we can't cast either of our 5-drops this turn, which is a bummer. So I think we'll just play our tap land, and then we will eject their token. Oh, it is an instant. I think we're still going to do it just to play around counterspells. And then I am going to offer a trade with our Town Greeter here. Retrieve the Esper is pretty good. They're going to keep tapping down our Torgal, a Fine Hound, which is pretty good. I will say we do have a lot of options here now. So I think playing the Cloud of Darkness and taking out their 3/3 is actually pretty good. Ultimecia is pretty good too. I mean, we have a lot of super solid options here. But I think playing the Cloud of Darkness to get a 3/3 on the board, taking out their 3/3, and then being able to attack for 2 is going to be pretty decent here. There's still a long way from being able to spend 8 mana to cast a spell. And then next turn, we can do a lot of things. So we keep tapping down our Torgal, which is annoying. But next turn, we can play the Wyvern and like travel the Overworld, which would feel pretty good. I think I'm actually going to do that. I think there's like a reasonable chance that we will eventually be able to double spell. I forgot Ultimecia is also a human. So I think we'll actually put one of those in the graveyard. We'll keep one on top. That way we can next turn continue to kind of ramp towards having 8 mana to spend on this, having 7 to spend on the Omega Heartless Evolution. They do have an eject, which is pretty good, but we can just play it again, which is kind of nice. We'll get to surveil again as well. I also might just get rid of their Ultros because it's kind of annoying. So we could do something like a Chocobo kick into a Dragoon's Wyvern. I think I'm going to do that just so that we can start actually attacking our opponent and getting somewhat aggressive here. And then we'll play out our Dragoon's Wyvern. And then we still now have up the Omega Heartless Evolution, so we can tap down whatever they play. We've still got the Ultimecia eventually, so a lot of good stuff here. They do have a couple of a 2 and a 3-drop, which are totally decent. I do think now we are interested in getting our Ultimecia online, so that eventually we can pay the mana requirements to exile cards from our graveyard. Are we interested in a Chocobo Racetrack? Probably. I don't think we need another forest, but I will say we'll make something with the Racetrack. We'll be able to cast more things out of our hand. I think we'll actually just keep that as it is. And we'll go to combat. I think we are more than fine attacking and offering to trade with any of these creatures. All right, and they concede. We get it done in the first game. I will say our deck actually felt pretty good there. But our opponent definitely had a slow start, but everything worked there to a T, and we are 1-0 on the day. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. We do have the problem of if we don't draw a forest, we can't do much. But if we do draw a forest, it's actually going to be pretty good. I think we're actually probably supposed to keep this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I think us drawing a forest would feel so great that we can play the Ignis and the Summon Fenrir. Saz's Chocobo on 1 is fantastic. We don't draw a forest there. Um, so we might get stomped here. It definitely is a possibility. Tifa Lockhart is also, it's not great, but against what we're doing, it might be fantastic. This might be over quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if they're just going to curve out, this is bad. This is real bad. We'll play a Scorpion Sentinel. We can block some things, but it's not exactly intimidating. We did not draw a forest, which was not fantastic. And we're probably getting smoked here. I'll block the 3-2. If they have a combat trick, it is what it is. Untapped forest, we have like an off chance. It is not an untapped forest. So I think we probably just play the Ochu. Yeah. It'll trade with something and we can just try and hold on for a second here. But there is a lot of pressure across the table from us. If they've got a removal spell or like any effects. Oh, Choco Comet's great. So just continue making 2-2s. I will say, even if we like did as best as we possibly could have, we're probably just getting housed by this deck. Hey, there it is. Just how we drew it up. Yeah, we're gonna go down here. And I will say, like, look, that's the issue. If we ever face anything aggressive, we are getting absolutely smoked here. And we go down in game 2. It was a quick one. It's a quick one. We go down quickly. And we are now 1-1 on the day. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. I actually think we keep this. We've got a Torgal we can play on 2. Eventually, we can play a Racetrack and an Ultimecia as well. And potentially, we can play him ahead of curve with a Torgal. So we're going to try that here. We'll go tap land, then untap land for the Torgal, then tap land, then potentially an untap land for the Ultimecia or the Serapharin here. If they kill our Torgal, we are going to be quite sad. Yeah, that stinks. So that puts a huge damper on our... Oh, they don't kill it. We're totally fine. I was overreacting for nothing.
Nice.
They still might kill it. Kutrub Forayer is not great. So now what's nice is we can go tap land into the Ignis Scientia, and then next turn we can potentially cast our Racetrack or our Ultimecia ahead of curve. I think now we'll take the Capital City just because we don't have access to a white source. And so even if our Torgal dies, we still can cast the Serapharin. Here, I think we're okay taking the 3 because they have mana up. Holy cow. I don't even know what this card does. Okay, let me read this. Ninjutsu, whenever a creature deals damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library, put that card in your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's mana value. And they got a Sage's Notice there. So that is, I mean, that's pretty good. Commander Ninjutsu is cool. Okay, so we have options here. I think we're supposed to play a Chocobo Racetrack and get that online. And we're going to use that to combat their start that they're having. And we'll just play a tap land here. And we'll start to make some 2-2s. I think we are okay not attacking and holding up some blockers for their creatures. And next turn, we can make another 2-2 and then play either of our spells here. I think we'll probably go with the Ultimecia. I will say, though, there's a chance we want to play the Serapharin and transform it. I'm fine blocking here. If they want to trade with our bird, that is fine by me. We will make another one next turn. So I think it is a legitimate consideration for us to play Serapharin. The Ignis Scientia is a legendary creature. First legendary creature spell you cast costs 2 less to cast, and then legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. I think we want that. So I think I'm going to play that. Does enter with a counter on it. And then we will play an island to make a bird. And then we'll go to combat. This will transform. Oh, this is legendary too. I forgot the Torgal was legendary. Oh my gosh, I'm learning things. And we'll attack with our 5/5. Yeah, I want to put some pressure on our opponent here. And then we will commune with beavers. And then we will travel the overworld. Yeah, we'll take... I guess it doesn't super matter. Yeah, let's take the red source. And then we will travel the overworld. So hopefully this will allow us to play out more lands. Playing out the Tella will be interesting. It's legendary. All the legendary things are like super cheap now because of our Seraph Aaron, which is awesome. Maybe this card's great. Ice Magic is good. So they're going to get a card off of the Yuffie Kisaragi here. But we've got some good heat in hand. So I cannot complain here. They've got a Golbez Crystal Collector, which is pretty good. If they have an artifact as well, it's going to be pretty solid. Sleep Magic is also really solid here, so we'll definitely need to watch out for what they're doing across the table from us. I do think now, if we go land, make a 2/2, we can go Ultimecia into Tella, Great Sage. And I think that actually feels pretty solid. And then next turn, we can hold up the Omega Heartless Evolution. Here, I definitely want the Chocobo Kick. I do not really care about that town. It will help us load our graveyard so that the Cloud of Darkness is better. And then I do think we are attacking with our 4/4 to try to put some pressure on our opponent. And then next turn, we'll probably just play the Omega Heartless Evolution and the Tella Great Sage. I do think we are fine blocking this with our 2/2 here. If they have a combat trick, it's fine. If not, also fine. Kuchu Forayer is fine, so it can take out our bird, but I just don't want them drawing a card. Undercity Dire-Rat is pretty good. So I think now we'll play out our land. We'll make another 2/2, which feels good. So I think we actually play the Omega Heartless Evolution here. Yep. And I'm going to tap down I kind of want to tap down the things that would be good to chump block with, which sounds kind of crazy. So I'm going to tap down the Undercity Dire-Rat. And I'm going to kill the Wizard. I know this sounds like kind of insane, but this makes it to where now they have to block with their good creatures, and so it kind of acts as a kill spell, so those creatures also are going to die. Here, I don't think we care about either of these. I'm going to put those both into the graveyard. Those are not going to alter the game for us at all. And so now it makes it to where they have to lose a good creature as well, in addition to them losing those other creatures. And then I think we'll block pretty aggressively here. I think we've got a pretty good hold on the game as it stands. They have an Ultimecia of their own, which is good. Dreams of Laguna is solid. So they've got 5 cards in their graveyard, so they can't quite do the Ultimecia thing here. I do think now we will play the Trano Dark City. We'll make our board a little bit better, and then, yeah, I mean, if we just tag everywhere, we got it. And we get through again! The 5-color special deck is doing its thing here, and we are now 2-1 on the day. All right, hopping into this next one, the Queen Coup Gourmet thing could happen here. It is a little slow, but like we have a 3-drop. We have a really fun potential combo. We gotta try that, right? I'm here for the fun content, not the competitive gameplay. And hopefully we can play the Queena into the racetrack and try and extract some value that way. So here we'll go tap lane again so that we can play our Queen Coup Gourmet next turn. And then eventually the Scorpion Sentinel as well. So now just looking to draw as many lands as we possibly can. Ideally another forest as well. So now I think we'll play the Coup Gourmet just because it blocks their Black Mage's Rodwell. And then next turn I do think we'll seriously consider playing out the Precious Wanderings to go and help us ramp into these cards. I think we'll probably get the a green tap land. That is a sketchy attack. I think we are fine taking 2. If they had another ninjutsu, that would have been hilarious. Thief's Knife is decent, so I'll end up taking 3 on that turn. So now it's, do we want to go get another land so that we can play the Chocobo Racetrack next turn? And the Fat Chocobo, probably the Fat Chocobo actually would play first. Or do we want to play the Scorpion Sentinel here? I think actually probably just looks like us going and getting another land. Doesn't feel fantastic. So we need to get green and something else. So it's probably just the blue-green land if I had to guess. I guess it doesn't super matter. We can't get a white land because then we can't play the racetrack. So I'll just go and I'll just get this town. We'll put a 1/1 counter on the Coup Gourmet. We are not attacking. I don't love that they attacked into us last turn, but if they had like the +1/+1 trick, then they wouldn't attack here. If they have a different trick, then they would attack here. So we'll see what they do. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. They're going to get to draw a card, but I want to keep this alive so we can play the Chocobo and start to go wide, and then we can block. So I'm going to take 4. They're going to draw a card, which feels not fantastic, but next turn, hopefully, we can play our Chocobo, and we can make a frog and a bird, and then we can kind of stabilize that way. If they have a removal spell here, this feels especially bad. Yeah, Ice Magic is great. I think we still put it on top of our library. And then we're still going to play the Fat Chocobo as a decent blocker. We won't get to make the frog out of it, but we still have the Queen of Coup Gourmet and the racetrack in hand, so hopefully we can get some value that way. And now I do think we're fine blocking with our creatures this time around, so that we just got to see what they have in their hand. We can't let them keep drawing cards. Okay. Kuchu Forayer, maybe? Or -2/-2? Cornered by Black Mages is fine. Sahagan's pretty good too. So we have to be like very wary of not getting wizarded out here because they have this and the Black Mage's Rod. So I'm going to just double spell and play both of our creatures this turn. And hopefully we can draw any land so that we can go racetrack into land. Summon Shiva is good. What's this? Equip 4 is a lot. Equip 4, equip 3. If we can draw an untapped land, or any land, I'd actually feel really good about this next turn we could have. I totally lied. They killed our Scorpion Sentinel. I feel terrible now. So they can do a point of damage, and then we're going to struggle to stabilize here. Okay, we did not get our land. So I think we play Chocobo Racetrack. I mean, this feels real bad. We're probably just dead. But then next turn we can play a Chocobo Kick, return our land to our hand, and then do it again, and then play that land. And yeah, I think we just lose. Because even if we kill things, we'll just slowly lose to what they have. So we'll take 6 here. Or 5. So I think now we Chocobo Kick the Salvagers. I will return this land to our hand. If they kill our Queen of Kugor, maybe just lose. What do you have in your hand, sir? Okay. So we lose a life there, which doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. But now we can play the land. We're going to make a frog and a bird. And then I'm going to Chocobo Kick again. And we're going to return a land again. And I'm going to attempt to kill their Sahagin here. Just because that unblockable is making me nervous. So they can counter that, which is good. But potentially we can stabilize. I will say if they cast a non-creature spell, they are rolling here. Summon Leviathan. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness, it's a Merfolk? I didn't even think about that. Okay, alright. Let's think about this. If we go Kina, Coup Gourmet, into the into the town, we can kind of stabilize. If they draw a spell, we're toasted here. Really, any interaction, we're pretty dead. Hectize is good. Actually, Hectize is really not that good. So we can chump the Leviathan here. I guess we kind of have to double chump, don't we? Oh my gosh, I get to draw a card from this Merfolk too! I did not see this synergy getting us. Okay, so we have to chump both. Let's do it like this. Yep, that makes sense. And then on our turn, we can't load anything into the graveyard. Another Hectize is really good. But I will say we can kill the Sahagin now, which is kind of hype. So, yeah, I think we just do that. We'll take out their Sahagin, and then they won't get to draw any cards. The Leviathan will die. But I will say, like, they equip the Black Mage's Rod and cast a spell. We're at 1. They do it again, we just lose. It's kind of what I'm afraid of here. We also can't cast the Serapharin, which does not feel fantastic. Okay, we draw a land, which is good. So I think we attack with the Cloud of Darkness. We got to start attacking some way, somehow. And then we'll just play the Forest and make a bird and a frog. And this sounds crazy. But I think we might start attacking on the ground as well next turn. Serapharin in our hand feels bad. I mean, this is the 5-color special coming back to haunt us here. If they can cast 2 spells, they win. There's a lot of ways our opponent can win, and we can lose here. Sephiroth's Intervention is solid. Yeah, we have to sacrifice a frog. So we will be down to 1 here. If they cast any other spell, they win. I feel like I'm getting slow rolled here. I feel like they have it. Okay, they don't have it. Town Greeter is good. And I think we have to start attacking aggressively because it's only a matter of time before they draw a spell themselves to kill us. What's crazy too is we can actually play our Serapharin now. I guess we probably wait until after combat to do that. So I'm going to attack pretty aggressively actually. Because we can play our Serapharin. Maybe we should attack like this. Yeah, let's do that. So they'll take 6, and then we will play our Serapharin. And hopefully they don't draw a spell here. If they do, we just lose. Come on. Draw lands. What? Another one?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's think about this. We gotta discard the Serapharin. Oh, that's so bad. Another Leviathan. We are playing as hard as we possibly can here, I will say. This is as hard as I have ever tried in a Magic game that I can remember. Let's go ahead and take the... I guess it doesn't super matter. Let's go take the town. We are also down to 13 cards in our library, which doesn't feel great. They will also get to draw a card here, so odds of them casting the spell is good, but we did get to get some life back with the Town Greeter, which feels fantastic. We will discard our gateway here. We're trying. We are trying as hard as we can here. So they're going to get to draw a card off of the Leviathan. Yeah, so let's throw our frog under that. And then we will sacrifice it and get a counter on the Queen here. If they have another Leviathan, I mean, my goodness. Yep, so we'll take a point of damage. It gets cast out again, which is good, so we're really at 3 here, if we think about it that way. Dragoon's Wyvern is interesting. It makes a token for the Queen, which is decent here. And we actually are going to attack, because if we don't, we will just slowly lose this game. So I think attacking with a Town Greeter feels kind of crazy. So let's attack like this. And they'll take 3. They're down to 11. I mean, we're trying as hard as we possibly can here. So Leviathan goes away. They'll have to equip and then draw their card. Gaius Van Baelsar is good. I assume that they'll probably make us sacrifice our enchantment. Wow, non-token creature is a huge mistake, because we would have had to sacrifice our Chocobo Racetrack. So we'll just sacrifice the Town Greeter here, which feels great for us. And then again, just like any land is great. Really, any draw now is fine for us. Yeah, like land is totally fine. Land plays. And then we will attack with the Queen of Coup Gourmet and the Wyvern here, dealing 5. I'm going to sacrifice a frog and try and kill their Van Baelsar here. Okay. They're at 9. If they have another Summon Leviathan, I'm going to lose my mind. Dreams of Lagoon is fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, we won the game! Let's go. We come all the way back. Double Summon Leviathan, and we get the job done. We are now 3-1 in this draft. That was insane. Insane game. All right, how about into this next one? My adrenaline is at an all-time high. So, opponent goes first. We're going to keep this. So, we got to be on the lookout for a swamp somewhere. But I think us being able to play... Interesting. I think we're probably supposed to start with the tap land. Let me think through this real quick. So, we could commune with beavers immediately, which is decent. But then we couldn't play the Scorpion Sentinel next turn. So, I think I'm going to go tap land. And we'll play the Fair Playing Gateway here. So we can play our Scorpion Sentinel on 2 as a decent enough blocker. Giat is solid. I will say the Sentinel is going to be okay, but them playing aggro is not what you want to see, to say the least. Here we'll play the Capital City into our Sentinel. And we can try and block their Giat if they have nothing else. Paladin's Arms is a great follow-up to the Giat, so they'll get to draw a card, or discard a card and draw a card. They didn't. Interesting. Very interesting. There is our Swamp, which is good for us. I think we'll just play that tapped and commune with beavers. And we'll try and go get an artifact or a creature here. I think the Chocobo Racetrack actually rips, so we're not going to attack. We're going to continue trying to hold on. But if we can get to 5 mana and play the Racetrack, it can be a really, really good stabilizing tool. I will say here we're taking 5, which feels bad. And we now don't have a play on 4. So we'll probably actually just play the Cloud of Darkness and take out their Giat next turn. Doesn't feel amazing, but I think we kind of have to. And then we can play the Racetrack and the land next turn. We'll see what they have here. We're going to try to kill their Giat. They have Restoration Magic, which is really good. But we still do have a decent blocker out there, and then hopefully we can just get the Racetrack online next turn. They are going to give the Giat the... This would be 6 damage. I'm afraid if they have a pump spell, we just die. I think we don't block. Okay, they don't have a pump spell. We don't die yet. And now we'll go Racetrack into Tapland. And then we'll just try and stay alive for a second. I think we're probably chumping with one of our birds. But next turn, what's nice is we can go double bird with Apprecia's Wanderings. We could also just double block this. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll trade our board for the Giat, and now we can go land into Apprecia's Wanderings, and we can double block the Magitech Armor if we have to. I will say I think we're good on lands. We are good on lands. So if we see any creature be a good draw here. We've got, 10 total lands here. So I don't think that Chocobo Kick is tough because we can't really get their Magitech Armor. But I will say if they attack us with the Magitech Armor next turn, we can still double block it, and that would feel somewhat okay. We also could just continue to chump and try and play a bunch of lands. Eventually we'll draw a non-land. Summon Chocomog is really good. So we are very close to dead here. So we have to chump the Magitech Armor, and then we can eat one of the tokens. I say eat one of the tokens. So we have to block like... Yikes. We have to block like this. We'll take 2. Yeah, we're probably just dead here. We can take out the Chocomog, which will feel... Oh, another land? That's brutal. I mean, it is what it is. So, we're technically not dead. Oh, wait, let me make sure I did this right. So we're going to do this with Kicker. We're going to take out the Summon Chocomog. We will return... Oh, let's return this to our hand. I didn't even think about that. We can cycle this. Okay, wait. We can cycle this. Oh my gosh, and we can summon Fenrir. Oh my gosh, and we can make another bird. Oh my gosh. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I should have seen that a second ago. But getting back this cycle land is huge. Grahatia is good. What's this? Equip 4. So we'll double block like this. Or maybe we just block with a Fenrir too, honestly. Yeah, let's do that. We're still in a tough spot. They keep drawing good stuff. Grahatia was a great draw for them. But I like keeping our bird alive for the long haul. Queena Coup Gourmet. Yes. Sign me up. Sign me up for that. The birds and the frogs are getting going here. No attacks. We will end our turn. And now we can actually block the Grahatia depending on how they attack. Or we can just continue to chump with our frog and our bird here. So that is fine. We've got a 3-2. So I think we're fine just blocking that. And making them use a trick, or if not, I think trading is also totally fine with us. They get to draw a card, which is not, not super ideal. But we're just trying to stabilize right now as best as we can. And ideally, we can just start endlessly chumping with the with the frog here. Grand Pulse Ochu is pretty good, actually. So we're going to play that out. And then we will play our land. We can attack, but this also makes it to where they don't have great attacks because we have the Grand Pulse Ochu out there. Samurai's Katana is good. Yeah. So I do think now we will double block like this. If they have a trick, they have a trick. But we'll take 1. They get to draw a card, which is good. They also will. Now, having the Samurai's Katana out there is insane so that they can equip and give things trample. Scorpion Sentinel is okay. It is a 4/4, which will do a decent job of blocking. We also, the Grand Pulse Ochu can get +4/+4, which is decent. And we're just going to try to hold on, but this might be more than we can take here. Barrett Wallace is good, so they just win, unless we can kill that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they just win now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we tried. We tried so hard, but we go down here, unfortunately. We dropped to 3-2 on the day. We tried to stay alive. We were so close to staying alive, but we unfortunately go down here. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. I think we actually like this hand a decent amount. The only color we don't have in our opening hand is a Plains. We only have 1 card that needs that. I do think us having the Town Greeter is a pretty decent start, and hopefully we can draw some action after that. So I'm going to play our tap lane first. We'll play our Town Greeter, and then eventually we'll play the Racetrack. So we'll be looking at getting probably another green source with the Town Greeter here. Queen Aku Gourmet is interesting. I mean, it's a 3-drop. It's right on time. And here we'll take a Mountain, obviously. We did mill some good stuff. Ultimecia would have been solid. Sentinel's pretty good at blocking their token here. But Queen Aku Gourmet will be good next turn, and then eventually, hopefully, we can play the Racetrack. But we'll take 2 here, and they'll gain 1. Black Mage's Rod is good as well. Hopefully, we can kind of try and stifle that with a 2/3 on the board. Keeping our 1/1 back is also going to be good, so that we can try and block their hero with the Black Mage's Rod. The Wizard hero. Heck Dies is solid. I think we probably... So we probably should have played a Swamp or an Island last turn, so we can play like the Overworld. The Overworld casting 6 mana is pretty brutal here. So it's just going to be hard for us to get there. It's also going to be really hard for us to cast the Omega Heartless Evolution. So maybe it's that. I like us keeping the Chocobo Kick in hand. But if we draw a bunch of lands, the Omega is going to feel really, really strong. I'm going to discard the Omega Heartless Evolution. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I just think that our opponent has got a going wide deck here. And we're at a better spot if we don't miss land drops, can cast our Travel to Overworld eventually. Because if we didn't draw a land and we were stuck on 4 lands, this would feel really brutal. Okay, so we do draw another land and a town as well, which is good. I don't think we're in the business of attacking, and we are just going to continue to hold. And then next turn, we'll play our Travel to Overworld, and then after that, we'll do the Racetrack into some lands. So we just got to hold on for really 2 more turns here. Paladin's Arms is pretty good. Does make a 3/2. Okay, they're not going to attack into us, which is great news. So I think I'm actually here going to Chocobo Kick their Paladin's Arms token and play out the Torgal, a Fine Hound. My issue with the playing out the travel, the overworld, is that we would be losing a lot of those cards because we have so many cards in hand. And I think this allows us next turn we can play the racetrack, we can play a swamp, and then make a frog, make a bird, and then stabilize that way. I do not like that we got rid of our removal spell. If they have something like Fantastic here, that's going to feel particularly bad. But if they don't, I think this was definitely the right call. So they're going to attack us everywhere. They gain a life. I do think we're okay blocking like this. The Torgal is not like paramount in our plan here to be successful. And we're going to get to draw a bunch of cards anyway. So I think us just clearing the board as much as we can and making them play cards out of their hand is going to be good for us. Interesting. That was a bad... Oh, it didn't die. Oh, great. I would have been so sad if that did die. So now we'll go Chocobo Racetrack. We'll play out a land. We'll make a bird and a frog. And then... yeah, we'll attack. And then next turn we can travel the overworld. If they have another Heck Dies, we'll discard our swamp, which doesn't feel awesome, but I think it'd feel fine. Gaius Van Belsar is great, so they can get rid of our Chocobo Racetrack. Oh, that's tough. What did they do? It's an artifact, not an enchantment! I got that wrong earlier! That's huge! They picked enchantment, it's an artifact! Oh, that's so big. Okay, let's take out their... Heck Dies. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Earlier, I thought our opponent messed up by not taking out the racetrack. Turns out they couldn't. So here, I think we'll travel the overworld first. We will play a land. And then we'll make another frog with the Wyvern as well here, which feels particularly good, and we will not attack. And then next turn we've got the Fat Chocobo, which will make a couple of frogs. We'll keep making frogs. Okay, what is this? Whenever an opponent dies, put a 1/1 counter on violence equal to that creature's power. Okay, interesting. So I think we Chocobo kick that. Oh my gosh, it's all happening. Let's do this bird into the Valentine here. And then let's make as many frogs as we possibly can. We get there again! Let's go! This deck is so much fun. So much fun. We're now 4-2 on the day, ripping through this challenge. Alright, hopping into this next one. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. We've got the Queen. Again, this card has been the MVP today. It's been so much fun. We're going to keep it. It's not incredible, but it also could be a whole lot worse. We'll play a couple tap lands into the Queen on 3, and then eventually we'll be able to eject something, Ultimecia something, hopefully. We draw a Grand Pulse Ochu, which is just a fantastic draw. So we can still play our tap land, and we can play that out. So that feels particularly good for us. Now we will start by attacking, and then we will play our Queen. So now we can also play our Eject on 4, which is good. Serapharian is not great because we don't have the planes quite yet, but we had to splash it. We had to play 5 colors. Paladin's Arms is good-ish. So we can eject that eventually, but not right now because it's got Ward 1. So I think we'll just start by... Honestly, I don't think we want to attack. I like my Grand Pulse Ochu. I think we're probably going to eject this next turn. Actually, we'll probably play the Ultimecia next turn. But I want to keep the Queen alive. I like the Queen of Coup Gourmet. If they want to trade here, we can trade here. And I think us playing a 1/4 is actually a decent blocker against this 3/2. So they're fine taking 1, and then we'll play out our Scorpion Sentinel. Alright, so they have a lot of planes. They might be playing mono white. It is definitely a possibility here. Or they're missing their second color. Gala Cat is decent. Alright, so we draw a Chocobo Kick, which is interesting. I think we're probably supposed to eject the Gala Cat and draw a card, just so we can play this Ultimecia eventually. So I'm going to go for that. And we do draw the tap land, which is great news. And I think now we will... I mean, is the Queen of Coup Gourmet a big part of our plans here? I think we're supposed to get a little bit aggressive. And then we can still block their 3-2 if they attack us back. Alright, so they're just going to take the 3. Maybe they are mono white. Shouts out to them. Gala Cat is decent. If they have another artifact, it becomes a 3-3. They do not at the moment. So I think first we'll play out our... Well... Yeah, I don't think we have a super strong interest in attacking this turn. So I'm just going to play the Ultimecia. We don't want either of those cards. I say that. We don't have double green if we draw the Racetrack. But we want to load our graveyard so we can do this thing eventually. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm putting them both in the graveyard. And then I will attack with Ochu. If they want to trade, we can trade. We'll give them down to 14, if not. Alright. And then we've got the Chocobo Kick still, which is decent, but they have a lot of cards in hand. We are a little bit out of juice here. Okay, so they do have a second color. White Auracite is great. Really great. So now they can attack us with their Gala Cat, which is good. The Serapharin is so dead in our hand. It is unbelievable. Samurai's Katana is good. Don't know why you wouldn't play that before combat, but, you know, to each their own. We'll play a Town Greeter here. Would have been really, really good with the Ultimecia. We will take a capital city over a mountain here. And I'm thinking through it. So we could cycle this. Or we could play it here and make this into a 4-4, which attacks decently well. I think we'll actually play it. Yeah. Yeah, let's attack with the Sentinel first. So it's a 4-4. And then let's return it to our hand. And we'll do the Ochu on the Gala Cat, just because a 3-3 flyer feels annoying. And we will return this to our hand, and then we will cycle it. Ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha ha. That felt smart. Okay, Dragon's Wyvern is super solid, so a potential win condition is just going into the skies. This also, we've slowly accumulated a lot of cards into our graveyard. So once we get to 8 mana, this is really, really annoying to block. But our opponent's got 4 cards in hand. They've been stuck all game without a mountain, so I would assume they're going to have some good stuff going here. I think we're fine taking 3. Ignis Scientia is real interesting. I actually love that. So now our Scorpion Sentinel can become a 4-4 again. And then, weirdly enough, we can start making food and creating... Oh, yes! We get our land! So we can play the Serapharin now. I love Serapharin. This card is so good. But we can... I probably should have done this after combat. Well, the Dragon's Wyvern part of it. But we can now attack with the Sentinel as a 4-4, which feels pretty good. Or maybe we go max pressure and attack with everything. Now, let's just do the Sentinel. I don't want to get blown out by like a removal spell or a combat trick or something here. Like Moogle's Valor. Yep, so we lose the Sentinel. I'm so glad I did not attack recklessly, because that would have been like horrendously bad if we had just sent everything at them. Because their Moogles would have lived and ours would have died. So now we can play the Serapharin, which is interesting. And then we can start exiling cards out of their graveyard and making food tokens and also frog tokens, which is going to be kind of fun. We also will be able to boost our Grand Pulse Ochu eventually. So there's things we can do here. Grahatia was great though. So that plus Moogle's Valor is pretty good. So they can draw some cards. They've definitely stabilized here. It's not going to be as easy as I once thought it was. I think we are fine taking 3. I don't want them to draw a card here. So now we will play the Serapharin. And then we'll go to combat. We will transform this, and we'll make our Ignis Scientia and our Queen of Coup Gourmet into a 4/5 and a 4/4, which is not anything crazy, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. And then I don't think we can attack really. Actually, yeah, I guess we should attack with the Queen of Coup Gourmet, and if they want to block with the Grahatia, we can sacrifice a frog and make it into a 5/6. So I'm going to sacrifice it. I don't feel good about this. I feel like this means they have a removal spell or something. We're going to take out the Grahatia. Just because I think that is going to... Yeah, they're going to have something here. Yeah, okay, just have a removal spell. We'll play land, and we will... So maybe we should have done that part before combat, but we'll take out their Gallicat and make a food token. And we are kind of on a back foot here. We do have the Ochu still, which can be an 8/8, but them having a removal spell there did not feel fantastic for us. Adelbert Steiner is great. We'll see how they attack here. I feel like they're probably going to start to get a little bit aggressive. But us also having this back is good. I think we're fine just taking 3 here. I think we'll double block this. Look to draw a card, but if we take 6, I actually feel pretty bad about that. Yeah, we probably go down here. I mean, we're just a little bit short on value. And we also should have waited to do this. You can do this as an instant. And so doing it on our turn was no advantage. I don't know why I did that. But we're here now. So we can play Tella, which is okay. I think now we just hold off. And we'll play the Grand Pulse Ochu defensively. And just hope to get some value back that way. We can crack our food, get some life back here. But if they remove our Ochu, we're in a tough spot for sure. White Auracite is great. So they can just take our Grand Pulse Ochu, and we just kind of lose. If they take our Ignis Scientia, I'm very, very intrigued by that decision. So let's exile from our graveyard a creature and make a food token. Oh no! I did this wrong! Because now they can attack us. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This was an error. Because now they can attack us because we tapped out. Yeah, this was wrong. This was quite incorrect. So if we block like this and we block like this, we'll stay alive technically. We'll take 10, we'll gain 6. Yeah, let's do that, because I can have them continue to draw cards. Let's eat our food so we don't die. But that was a pretty big blunder, because now we can't keep our Ochu alive. But I will say they still would have close to lethal. So now we need to play the Tella and then also pick something else. But I will say, they've still got 3 cards in hand, none of which are lands. So I don't know that we were winning this one. Coeurl is great. Okay, this is interesting. So we can go Tella Great Sage. We can draw 4 cards. Make a hero. Precious Wanderings is not fantastic. Commune with Beavers is okay. We have to somehow find a 2-mana creature, which we do. I don't care how these go on the bottom of our library. We pull a Sentinel there, which actually is really quite strong. So now they can tap something down, but we still have either the Sentinel or the Telegreat Sage as blockers. So now we're trying. They've got one card in hand. We also are going to gain a bunch of life with the Omega Heartless Evolution, so we can just stay alive for a second here. I actually think we're in a average spot. The Travel to Overworld was a ridiculous draw. So they're going to equip the Adelbert Steiner here, which is interesting. If they have another spell, we're in a really tough spot. They also might just make it into a Super Soldier here with the Paladin's Arms as well. But if they do that, they can't tap anything else down. Oh, they have the Aura Sight too. Yeah, they can. Interesting. So let's double block like this. And we'll single block like this. So we'll take 3. If they have another spell, like, sure. Okay, we're at 2. Okay. Whoa, Summon Fat Chocobo is a crazy draw. So, can we play both? Yeah, we can. Holy smokes. So let's do that. Let's play the Omega Heartless Evolution. Let's tap down their Coeral so they can't tap anything we have down. We'll gain 6 life. Oh, we can't. We need one more land. So do we want to attack with the Telegreat Sage? I think we do, because we've got to start to put some pressure on them. But if they have some way to remove our Omega Heartless Evolution next turn, they'd remove it. They'd equip this. It'd be a 6. Yeah, I think we attack. I think we're supposed to attack. And then we'll go and we'll get a land. Oh, we also make a hero, which is great. Let's take the... It doesn't really matter. And then next turn we can play our Fat Chocobo. I think we'll put it on the Omega Heartless Evolution. We'll also get to give creatures trample until end of turn, which will feel pretty good. Hopefully they don't draw a removal spell for our Omega Heartless Evolution. Okay. Let's play the Chocobo. Let's attack with the Omega Heartless Evolution. Okay. And then we'll pass. We'll keep our card in our hand. We also have 6 cards in our library, which is worth mentioning. I didn't realize that. We've been playing this game for a long time. All these games have been very long. Zach Fair is interesting, so I can give something indestructible, which is fine. Interesting, they're going to attack us. So we could block with the Telegreat Sage. They'd have to sacrifice their thing, and they were doing a bunch of damage next turn. I think we're going to do that. Yeah. So we're forcing them to sacrifice their Zach Fair now, so they don't have to sacrifice it later. Or we can do this trade if they want to do this trade. Sure. That is fine by me. We've got 6 cards in our library, so we gotta get it done here, some way, somehow. Torgal, a Fine Hound, is interesting. It is a legendary creature, so it'll be a 4/4. I do think we just attack with the Omega Heartless Evolution here. We'll get them down to 7. We'll play our Torgal. We got 5 cards left on our library. Hopefully we can hold on. Draw land. Draw land. Paladin's Arms is good. It's actually not good. So as it stands, we do have lethal, because we've got 12, 16, 22. Are they going to attack us? We've got 22 trampling damage. And they've got 7 toughness. So at its worst, we do enough here. What a crazy game. What an insane game. All these games have been crazy. Maybe 5 colors is the way in this format. Even if they give it indestructible, we've got enough to get it done, and we win here again. The run stays alive. It did not look like it was going to for a second there, but we get it done. All right, hopping into this next one, we get to go first. I do think we keep this for sure, actually. I kind of like this hand. I think we'll go with the tap lands first, so we can play our Scorpion Sentinel, and then eventually we'll just sneak an Ochu out there. I don't really feel the need to play that on turn 1. But I do think playing the Sentinel on turn 2 has some value. So we'll play tap land first. And here we will just play the Scorpion Sentinel. Next turn we can play the Ochu. Sahagin is decent. 1-3 and a 1-4 on the battlefield. We'll play our tap land here and our Grand Pulse Ochu. I don't feel the need to attack at the moment. And so eventually we'll play a Chocobo Racetrack. Ignis Scientia is quite good. So looks like our opponent is at least 3 colors. Serapharian is so bad. I hated that card's in our deck. We don't want to attack. We're good. We're good. I think the longer this game goes, the better it is for us. Esper Origins is great. Really good. So the transform side of that turns into a 4/4, buffs their board. So really strong. It's also a 4-mana spell out of the graveyard. So they can reveal cards, put in their hand, add a couple mana. Other creatures get +2/+2 and trample till end of turn. So pretty good card there. I will say Precious Wanderings is a great draw for us. So I'm going to play the Precious Wanderings. I'm going to go and get a... It's either, do we want a black source or a white source? I think we want a black source. We could also just go get the Capital City, so we can have both. That probably makes some sense, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll put a 1/1 counter on our Scorpion Sentinel, just make it into a 2/5. And then we're going to hold off on playing the land so that we can get a Racetrack trigger next turn, and then we'll play the Ultimecia probably after that. Or we can do it the other way around. I'd assume they'll just play their Esper Origins here. Make a 4/4. Potentially draw a card. They also get to surveil into whatever the top card is. So if they put a permanent card on the top of their library, they can just draw it, add some mana, and then get some trampling going. So definitely afraid of what our opponent is building here. Summon Fat Chocobo is also pretty good. So they are just trying to go wide here. So Cloud of Darkness is also interesting. I think we're interested now in getting our Racetrack going. And we're going to continue not attacking. I think having the Ochu is actually pretty good for us here, in the sense that we can block something effectively and try and kill it. What doesn't feel great is that they've got the Esper Origins on deck. Dragoon's Lance is pretty good. Good game. What does that mean? What does good game mean? Oh, I'm terrified now. I'm so scared now. I have no idea what that means. Let's play the Ultimecia. Let's go see what's on top of our library. And then potentially make our Cloud of Darkness good. Ooh. Gosh, both of those are good. Yeah, let's do the Summon Fenrir first. Into the... Yeah, let's keep those. Let's play a tap land. And then, do we want to attack? No. No, we don't. We want to just try to hold on for a second. I'm not sure why we got good games. What do they have here that I'm not seeing? Yep, Esper Origins is great. They get a forest, which actually is okay. Saza's Chocobo's good. Surprised they didn't play that first. Why did I get good gamed? I don't know. I don't understand that one. There's a lot of game to be had. Giving their entire board +2/+2 and trample is going to feel pretty nuts, though, I will say. So I think we go summon Fenrir. We go get a basic land. I am realizing now that means we cannot play our town, which is tough. We can't play our search the travel the overworld, but we can play our Serapharin, which feels okay. And then we'll just continue holding up. They will get a huge board next turn, but they are going to lose the Fat Chocobo. Choco Seeker of Paradise is good. Whenever one or more words attack with that many cards in a separate library, you may put one in your hand, put any number of land cards among them on the battlefield tapped, and the rest in your graveyard. Maybe that's why they said good game. Whenever land control enters, Choco gets 1/1 until end of turn. So they've got 2 birds as it stands, but they have to attack with them. And I think we're fine, like losing a Grand Pulse Ochu. At worst, they get +2/+0. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we're dead. Yet. We might be. Eventually. So I think we're fine taking 2 here. Bard's Bow is pretty good. So my issue here is that I want something to be in our graveyard so we can Cloud of Darkness the Dragoon's Lance, but I guess I can put the Dragoon's Lance on anything, so like maybe I shouldn't worry about that so much. So maybe now we just... So what's tough is I think now we'll just gradually lose to whatever they put the Dragoon's Lance on and the Bard's Bow. So those just hanging around are going to be good. But they'll have to pay a lot to equip into something else. I don't think we're going to be able to kill something else with this. So I think we have to just play it out. So I'm going to attack with the... We actually might have the greatest power at the end of this. So I think we actually just hold again. And we'll play our Cloud of Darkness as just like a sad 3/3. I mean, it's a 4/4, excuse me. And so it can like try and block things, but this feels tough. We'll see what they do here. Slash of Light is great. Yeah, it's just gonna attack with the Choco Seeker of Paradise. They should just swing out, honestly. Wow, they got 3 lands? Oh my gosh. 3 lands off the top is insane. So we're taking 9 in the air, so we have to block super, super unfortunately here. So let's do this. Taking 9 in the sky. Yeah, we just lose this game, unfortunately. Let's block like this. We'll take 12. Yeah, it doesn't feel great, but then pulling 3 lands off the top was sick. Like I have to give them credit where credit is due. And I definitely didn't see the other 5/5. Okay, either way we were losing. Doesn't super matter. We go down there. Super, super interesting, fun challenge today. Some very, very long games. But we have a 5-color deck that goes 5 and 3. Honestly, could have been a whole lot worse. I actually thought this deck was really fun. We had some crazy comebacks, some really fun games. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are still watching, thank you. So based on my performance today, I am giving away a rare card set to one of you. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below on how you think I did and what would you maybe have done differently. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.